Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Geek episode 42. You notice I just looked to the side because I had to check the number of the episode. Thank you for watching us, whether you're joining us live on YouTube or listening to us on Spotify, whether you're going on a jog, whether you're working, whether you're pumping iron at the gym. My name is Ren Geekness, and I'm, of course, joined as always by my co-host, Zach Pope, in a very different setting than we're used to seeing him. How are you doing today, Zach?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just at my fiance's place. She's sleeping.
Oh, nice. So if Zach doesn't get too excited about anything, we know the real answer. As to why. So welcome everyone. I know there wasn't a show last week. And just to do a little bit of housekeeping, there will be weeks every now and then that we will be unable to have shows, either because I'm not available on Saturdays and then Zach's not available on Sundays, or vice versa, whatever happens. So as of right now, there will not be a show next week, unfortunately. Maybe if we can make it happen on Sunday, we will. But I just want to let you know on Saturday, on a regular schedule, there will not be a show next week, a week from today. As per
So you're
last
telling
week,
me next week Marvel's gonna drop Phase 7?
exactly.
Right.
They're going to drop the director of Secret Wars at the very least. That's what's going to happen. And the actor for Superman Legacy. But speaking of Superman Legacy, last week there was supposed to be a show. And then last minute I couldn't make it. But it was the week of the DCU slate reveal, announcement, whatever you want to call it, from James Gunn. So there's a lot that we still need to discuss here that I'm sure you guys are interested in hearing our thoughts. Me and Zach have not spoken too much about it. We've spoken briefly about it, like as the announcement was coming out. But I'm sure you'll have questions about it. As for today, in case you don't know how this show works, there will be a main topic, which will be the main point of discussion. That's the first big part of the show. And then we go into the most fun part, the most relaxing part, the main part of the show, which is answering your live questions. There's 3 ways of getting questions into the show. One of them is leaving your questions on the community tab, and we'll do our best to get to them. But if you want to guarantee your question is answered, you can go through the tip link in the description or the super chat feature, which not only has you asking great questions, it guarantees we answer it, but you're also actively supporting the channel and the show by doing that. So without any further ado, the first small part of the show is when we do our weekly rankings. That's when me and Zach look back on everything we watched this past week. And even though there wasn't a show last week, I'm not telling Zach to go back all the way 2 weeks ago. And you guys also share yours in the live chat. We bring it up, we discuss it a little bit, but you don't have to do the entire past 2 weeks if you don't want to, if you can't remember. Just feel free to share what you watched this week. So without any further ado, Zach, what do you got?
So flat out, I did not watch a single movie this week. We're going to see Titanic today, though, in 3D.
Nice.
So I'm very excited that. But we didn't watch a single thing this week, or I didn't watch a single thing this week, mostly because Hogwarts Legacy came out, and I've absolutely just been playing that. So that's kind of where like a lot of my attention has gone. But what I did watch this week, I'll more just talk about like what I watched previously. I don't really want to rank it because I'll be doing a separate ranking, but I've been rewatching a lot of the Rocky movies. And I finally watched Rocky 5 for the first time, which I've never seen. Oof. And I didn't hate it. It's definitely the least, like, spoiler alert for my ranking, it's definitely my least favorite, but I didn't hate it. But I forgot how much, like, I got motivated. I wanted to go to the gym after each and every one of these movies. Like, I think it was Rocky Balboa, how nostalgic that movie gets. It's just like the second he gets all the training, it was fun. But I also watched Magic Mike's Last Dance. I enjoyed it. It's easily my favorite one. I'm not a huge fan of this franchise. And I also watched spoiler alert again, which I really like that movie. And I showed my fiance it, and we both had a good cry. So there's that. That's my weekly ranking. Oh, and The Last of Us, I guess, would be my number one thing, because I watched episode 5.
Both episodes.
I thought 3 was a masterpiece. This one is too. There was no, like, this is my second favorite section of the game. So they did it
You're
better
gonna have
than
a field day when you get to episode 8 and 9. You're gonna have a field day, man.
Yeah, eight is my favorite section of the game. So
Okay, yeah, you're gonna
wait.
love
I can't
episode
wait.
8 then. All right.
Wait.
As for me, I have even less things to rank today, as I didn't watch a single movie. But I did watch a bunch of TV shows. I just watched the season premiere of The Flash, which felt like a standard episode of The Flash. Didn't feel like a season premiere, didn't feel like a mid-season finale, didn't feel like a season finale or a series finale. It just felt, okay, this now is a comfort thing. There is one big reveal at the end of it that I'm very intrigued to see what they do with this particular character, given I know where this character comes from in the comics. Very interested. It feels very big for the CW, which is the usual CW MO these days, but I'm interested, let alone for this character, to see where this final season goes. And ahead of that, I finally caught up and finished and am entirely. I finished second season of The Legend of Vox Machina. This second season is spectacular. It is officially one of my favorite shows, and I kind of hate myself for having caught up, because now I have to wait like a year for the next season to come out, and I can't keep enjoying time with these characters. I did watch Missing last week. That was an advanced screening, Zach. There was an advanced screening on the 1st of February for it over here, and like 2 days ago, it was delayed from the 24th of February release date to April.
Why?
I don't know.
Is Magic Mike out there? I was going to ask you that.
Yes,
Is Magic
yes,
Mike out?
it just
okay,
came out.
Like no one's talking
yesterday.
about it, so I didn't know if it was like a wide release or.
But yeah, I'm very glad I did go to that advanced screening, and to everyone who didn't go to that advanced screening in the UK, you're probably kicking yourselves right now, and with good reason, because it's a really good movie. I'll have a review out for it this week, and Tuesday, Ant-Man, baby, Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Yeah.
All right. Without any further ado, let's go into your weekly rankings in the live channel. We start with Demonice and Scott. Number 6, House of the Dragon, episode 1 and 2. Number 5, Lightyear, ahead of House of the Dragon. Number 4, Deadpool. Number 3, X-Men Apocalypse, ahead of that. Okay. And number 2, Black Adam. And number 1, The Incredibles. I would shuffle all of that. Most of that ranking around.
A lot of this.
If it was
I feel like he just put what he watched it in. Like, I mean, there's no way. There's no way you think Apocalypse is better than all those movies and shows. Apocalypse is like one of the worst X-Men movies.
Well, I like Apocalypse, so I can't agree with that part.
I like the Magneto stuff in there. I don't like Apocalypse, though.
I like most of the stuff in there, but I don't love any of the stuff in there. Lady Aaron only has one thing. Oh, no, she has two, but put them in separately. So Lady Aaron, weekly ranking number 2, Sing Street, and number 1, La La Land. It is the absolute perfect order for those. No matter the ranking you put in, La La Land should come in at number 1. Nathan Madigan, parts 1 of 2. Number 6, You People, cringy for all the wrong reasons. Number 5, Lady and the Tramp. Number 4, Till. Number 3, The Menu. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Should have gotten love. Number 2, Good Night and Good Luck. Number 1, Old Boy. I was going to say Hellboy. Park Chan-wook. Okay, the original, not the Spike Lee remake. I would put The Menu right behind I was going to say Hellboy again. Old Boy. But that's definitely a great number 1. Not many things should trump Old Boy. Jico EP 5, Triangle of Sadness. The Menu is better. Yes, it is. Preach it to the choir, brother. Number 4, Knock at the Cabin. Flawed but decent thriller. Number 3 and 2. Number 2. No, hang on. Okay, 3 and 2, Madagascar's 1 and 2. Didn't see the best Madagascar movie yet. Number 1, The Last of Us, episodes 4 and 5. Eric Thorpe reviews. 13, The Flash. Number 12, Circus. I'm not familiar with this. Number 11, Blade 2. Number 10, Witcher Blood Origin. Blade 2 is way too low, brother. Guillermo del Toro. made one of the best superhero movies and displayed 2. Number 9, X-Men.
You think it's better than the first one?
Oh yeah, 100%, 1000%, easily.
Should I admit now that I've never seen the second one?
Oh, dude,
I've never seen it.
It's your jam. It's your fucking thing.
I know, man.
It's your fucking thing, man.
I know.
Number 9, X-Men the Animated Series. Number 8, Walk the Line. Never seen this James Mangold movie. It's the one I missed. Number 7, Premium Rush. Yeah, never seen it.
Oh, wow.
No,
You'd love it.
Just completely missed it.
That movie's incredible.
Not that I've avoided it, but yeah. Part 2, 6, Unforgiven. Unforgiven, I'm gonna tell you right now, should be at number 1 except for The Last of Us. That is the greatest Western ever made. Number 5, Batman Beyond. Number 2, All Quiet. Number 4, All Quiet on the Western Front. Number 3, Severance. I just finished Severance recently. Number 2, Werewolf by Night. And number 3. Okay, there's more. Okay, number 3, The Last of Us, episodes 3 through 5, and there's not a last part for this. So yeah, we're just gonna have to question what was the number 2 and number 1 on your ranking. All right. So with that out of the way, Bob Iger has made his first big move, and there's a lot of news around Bob Iger. It's not just these big announcements. There's going to be layoffs, and the layoffs are not like huge. Like, there's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs, obviously, but within the wider context of what we expected to happen, this was just a matter of time to happen. But we like to celebrate our movies, so today we're going to be focused on the sequels announced on the Disney's Investors Day. Bob Iger came out of nowhere because there was nothing else. Like, there was just this sudden thing. Oh, by the way, here's these 3 things. And so Bob Iger has announced we're getting 3 Disney sequels. Well, 2 Disney sequels, 1 Pixar sequel. We are getting Frozen 3. We are getting Zootopia 2. And we are getting Toy Story 5. And there is no better place to start than right there with Toy Story 5. Zach, take it away.
All right, so I'm at work. All right, Twitter's broken because no one can post anything.
The messages are broken for sure.
The last tweet I saw, Toy Story 5 announced. And I was sitting there, I was like, was that a fake discussing film that posted that? Or is this a real thing? So then I start looking and I find out it's real, and then I see Frozen 3 and Zootopia 2, but Toy Story 5. So everyone knows, Toy Story is my life. It's my fucking whole life. I'm conflicted. I am worried. I'm a little bit excited because I do trust Pixar. Pixar is my favorite movie studio of all time. They very rarely disappoint. So I am very excited to see what they can do with Toy Story 5 as a story. I think it's going to be very exciting to see. But I'm also very protective over it because, like you guys know, I love all 4 movies, like almost equally. I love each and every one of them. They're my comfort films. I can watch them whenever I want. They're my favorite film franchise of all time. And Toy Story is my favorite film of all time. So I hope that Toy Story 5 is not just because we want money. Clearly, that's why a lot of these were announced. Frozen 3 is the highest grossing technical animated film of all time. Zootopia 2 made $1 billion. Toy Story 4 made $1 billion. All these movies made $1 billion. They need, clearly, movies in the animated realm that will probably hit those marks. I don't see Elemental doing great this year, sadly. Inside Out 2 next year is probably going to do excellent. But I think when we look at these movies, that's why they were announced. Bob Iger's coming in and saying this. But I did ask around because I was curious to see if this was something that was announced recently or has been in the works for quite a while. These 3 films have pretty much been in the works for the last 2 years, but they weren't definitive ideas yet. And from what I actually heard, Chapek was not fond of greenlighting them. at least 2 of them, which is weird and stupid because all these movies, his franchises, have made over $1 billion. So there were some things about that as well. But we'll talk about Frozen 3 and Zootopia 2 in a little bit, but just Toy Story. And I will say this, I know Ren has a pitch for Toy Story 5. I was going to think of my own, but Ren, since I am arguably one of the biggest Toy Story fans in the world, I want you to pitch it to me, and I want to tell you if I like it or not.
So before I do the pitch, let me just...
Is this a real pitch, though? Like, is this a real pitch or is it a joke pitch?
It's a pitch that will never happen.
Okay.
I'll tell you that much. But it should. It should. Okay. I'm not saying this I'm not giving this pitch in a facetious way, but I know fully well they would never go this route.
Okay.
Because what I assume, so Toy Story 5 is announced. Everyone knows I am immensely underwhelmed by Toy Story 4. It's good. It's a solid film, but it betrays a specific character in the franchise. The jokes are good, but not as funny. The humor, the heart, it's solid, but it's just never to the heights of the original trilogy to me. And so when they announced this, let's forget all my personal feelings about Toy Story 4. Really? Are you going to follow Woody again now with Bo Peep? Are you going to...
That's where I'm at. Because I always said after Toy Story 4, if you're going to do anything else...
I don't think they will do that route, by the way. Because I think
it's going to be Buzz and Jessie.
I think it's going to be Buzz and Jessie, but more Jessie. Because Woody gave her the star. So now it's Jessie stepping up to that mantle of leader, and she doesn't know what to do with it. She's never been.
I don't think Woody should be in it. I will be disappointed if Woody is in it. His story's done. His story is done with Bo Peep. You definitively gave that.
I could see. He'll
be in it. Though.
I don't know any specifics about it, but I can see them. Here's why we need Woody in the story.
Yeah.
So,
but he's in it. You know what I mean?
I got it. And all my personal feelings about Toy Story 4, I was excited for it. I love the trailers. I didn't see what the point of that movie was, and even after watching it, I'm questioning what the point of that movie was. But anyway, my pitch for Toy Story 5 is that it has to build upon the ending of Toy Story 3 into the events of Toy Story 4. And now, what do we do with Toy Story 5? Again, this will never happen. Pixar and Disney, they will never go for it.
Pitch it.
So, ending of Toy Story 3, one of the most cathartic, beautiful moments where it represents that transition to leave the world you knew behind, going into college. And Andy quite literally gives everything he owns, everything he cares about, everything he was up until that point to Bonnie. These are the things that mean the most to my heart. These are the friends that have made me who I am today. Gives it to Bonnie, and then we have Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 ends with Woody abandoning the gang because Bonnie doesn't care for him. So now, Andy comes back home from college, goes to visit Bonnie and his friends, only to find out Bonnie lost his best friend and doesn't really care where he is. So Andy, I told you they would never go this route.
I'm not
Andy, I know you're not. You should be because it's the only logical way for things to go with the Toy Story 4. So no, Andy is now contemplating suicide because he realizes so much of what he was, so much of what he gave to Bonnie means so little to her. That little bitch cares not for Andy's love for his toys, for his friendship for his toys, and vice versa. So now the toys have got to go get Woody and go save Andy. And I actually think they're going to do this part, and they're going to have the toys reveal that they can talk. And so the mission in Toy Story 5 is to save Andy from taking his own life, because he opened his heart. He made himself vulnerable to this little girl. Here's everything I care about, and she does not care about that. His love was thrown aside, was taken to the trash almost immediately And so Andy is questioning everything he owned and questioning even his goodness of giving to this little girl all his friends and having her take care of them. And she didn't. She miserably failed at it. So yeah, that's the greatest pitch for Toy Story 5 you'll ever hear, and it's going to be better than the actual Toy Story 5.
I hate that they reveal that they talk.
But I know, but that's the one part I believe they could do it. That's really the one part I'm not married to, by the way. That's the one part I'm not married to.
The only thing for me, and if they announce tomorrow that Tom Hanks is coming back in like a major role, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'll be disappointed. I'm really against Woody coming back. You tied all that up. That's done. I don't mind you doing a Disney Plus show where we see just adventures of, I don't know, Frame It as Ducky and Bunny, and then like whatever they all do, whatever stupid stuff. You did Forky like that. You could do something else. I don't want a full movie on Woody and Bo Peep. Their story is done. That's what 4 was definitively giving us. Jesse and Buzz are characters that did kind of get the shaft in 4. Give them their ending. Sure, do whatever. I'm very protective over this franchise, and honestly, I thought for a while Pixar was. I don't know about this now though. This feels more. We need to make a move that's gonna make us money. I will say though, this movie's probably coming out in 2025. That's the 25th anniversary of Toy Story.
Ooh, nice.
So
that is it. Oh, it's the 30th.
So. Oh, 30th. Sorry, 30th. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's when that's going to come out. So
yeah, I really don't know. The one thing that could make me intrigued
because we know Tim Allen's coming back. That's it. That's literally all we know is Buzz.
Yeah, that's the only thing we know. Which could feed into the fact that it is a Buzz movie instead of a Jesse.
And I think that's why, if you remember during Lightyear, a lot like Tom Hanks was kind of like, why isn't Tim Allen coming back? But Tim Allen was never like pissed. If you kind of remember, like he was the only one that wasn't like, yeah, why didn't they call? I think it's because he knew that they were doing a Toy Story 5. If I'm being honest, which like again, Lightyear, he didn't need to play Lightyear because it's a different version of the toy or the character. So I think that's why I was talking to one of my friends. I'm like, I think this is why he wasn't like so fuck Disney, you know, like a lot of other stars were, where like Tom Hanks was in a couple of interviews. I'm like, Hanks. So that kind of goes into, is Hanks gonna be in this? Yeah. But then Tim Allen's like quote he put on Twitter kind of seems like Hanks is coming back, like Woody is gonna be in it. I don't know. I just nothing's definitive till Hanks says something or Disney, but
right now I can't get excited because
like if you were to ask me to rank all these sequels, I think this would still be my second most excited, but mostly just because I'm a Toy Story fan. If you ask as someone who
I am too
looks at the story, yeah. But if you ask someone who's just I'm very nervous for this. This should be your sacred franchise. Like
the only thing
Incredibles 3. Go make The Incredibles 3.
No. They still need to wait another 14 years for that.
But
the only thing that could get me intrigued at first is if they suddenly announce that like Pete Docter himself is directing.
Yeah, that'd be a big one.
Because he's not directing.
Isn't he retired?
I don't think so. But he is like the Kevin Feige of Pixar, or the James Gunn, as for a more appropriate, timely comparison. He is like the James Gunn of Pixar, so he might be choosing not to direct, because he's certainly not directing Inside Out 2.
But who is? I think it's what
it's someone who is a veteran of Pixar, but I don't believe they directed any feature just yet.
I'd like to see them bring in a veteran for Toy Story 5, though. Like, I liked Cooley's direction for 4. 4 went through a lot of troubles behind the scenes, though, specifically with the script. So, I'm very interested to see. You know, who
I can see why. I can see why there were problems with the script.
It was very different originally. But I would like Andrew Stanton to come in and do a Toy Story film.
Andrew Stanton would be good.
Because he was the original pitch. He was the one that pitched Toy Story 4. He said, he goes, Woody's story's not over.
What was the original ending? Do you remember?
It's never come out.
Oh,
It's
it's never come
no
out.
one
Okay,
no
okay,
one
never
knows.
mind.
It was the original script was written by Rashida Jones, and there was a lot of issues
I
between her
remember
and
that.
John Lasseter
Yeah,
and all that
and
shit
then John
happened.
Lasseter. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so this one is definitely the one I'm least excited about, just because are you going to betray another character in this one? What's going to happen? I don't know, but let's hope
I
for the
just don't
best.
want a
Prepare for the
mediocre
worst.
film. You know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah,
don't want like a mediocre film because this franchise
because
doesn't
even Toy
have one
Story
yet.
4 is not mediocre. It's not
No, it's
mediocre, Toy
still
Story
really good.
4.
Like I love it. It's my second favorite one, but it's just really good to a lot of people. So I want, and then Lightyear was really good to great. I loved Lightyear. So I
Lightyear is
just
great.
don't, I just don't want something
Better
mediocre
than Toy
for
Story
this
4.
franchise.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that,
Um,
but
because you are insane. Uh,
no, I'm
so
not.
this is the one I'm least excited for. So let's move on to greener pastures, and let's leave the elephant in the room for the end. Zootopia 2. It's also the one that there's the least to talk about, I guess, because this just makes sense. To me,
It's
Zootopia
the fact
2
that it's
just
been
makes
10
sense.
years.
Yeah,
We should have
they
had this
created
already.
they created a vibrant world, an intriguing world with so much to explore, even outside the city. Go to other kingdoms with other animals, and this incredible, funny, charming, endearing duo of Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. And I think there's just so much to do in this world with these two,
Agree.
exploring more of the wider
I can't believe they waited this
world
long.
of Zootopia. Yeah, it's
I
insane.
really
It won
like.
an Oscar, so they could do it again. Avatar just did it, and Zootopia is better than both Avatar movies. So I don't see why they couldn't do it. I'm very excited for this. Bring back the same director, bring back the same writers, the same cast, and just go nuts, because there's no other way to do it. This world just has so much left to
Yeah.
see. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Zach, what do you think?
This is my most anticipated thing that they announced. The original
Nice.
Zootopia was one of my favorite films that came out that year. I loved that movie. It was so fun and, like you said, vibrant. I really love the characters. I went and saw that movie like 4 times in theaters. No wonder it made $1 billion. You know. So I've been waiting for a sequel. I hated the short series they put up, Zootopia Plus. I didn't even finish them. That was terrible. That it was. I know that's just for kids, but we
I
needed a
like them,
sequel.
but they left a bad taste in my mouth because, oh, we had this because we're not getting a sequel. So now they don't leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, so this is something that we need now. And I'm excited to see what they do with this. So yeah, I'm all good with this. This is the thing I'm most excited for. That made the most sense once I saw what
Yeah,
was announced.
100%. All right, so from there we go to Disney's
The most
big boy.
obvious thing. Yeah.
The most obvious thing that I'm surprised it took this long. Zootopia, I think we should have had an announcement long ago, but I kind of, yeah, I get it. It's not your biggest thing.
I
This
think
is
this
your
would have been announced
biggest
faster
thing.
if it wasn't COVID because it came out in 2019, right? The last one.
Yeah, true. But still, the original Frozen on a budget of 150 million made 1.280 billion dollars. The second one in 2019 on the same budget, 150 million, made 1.450 billion dollars. And the original Frozen I've always liked. It's a good
Same.
movie, it has a good story,
I just got
enjoyable
annoyed of the
messages.
songs.
It has good songs, but I never thought it was great. It was never like, this is blowing my mind. This is one of the greatest Disney classics ever. It's a good story. It always felt like there was room for more. So they also took their sweet time in announcing and making a sequel. So in 2019, we got Frozen 2, and it is superior to the first movie in every single way. Animation is an obvious way. The writing, the characterizations, the songs are phenomenal. And the story just stakes on this grand scope that explores familiar relationships, fate, destiny, and what you're here to do, what you want to do, what you need to do. All these things are balanced in such incredible ways, such a grand adventure that still feels intimate for these sisters. And it gives them both time to shine. And where it ends, Elsa now embracing being the fifth element or the last airbender or whatever other joke you want to make about it, because there's room for that. And Anna is now ruler of Arendelle. I think now there's room there to continue getting to explore the lives of these sisters now that they're separated. How does that relationship that they built and the trust that they earned on one another, how does
It's like
that
a long distance
continue?
relationship between family, which is like kind of a unique thing.
But how does this decision of embracing the elements and being one with nature and all that, how does that affect all the other kingdoms, the rest of the world around them? And so there's a lot to do here. And as I'm a big fan of Frozen 2, it's such a good movie that should have won Best Song, but they didn't nominate the actual Best Song in the movie, sadly. They went with Into the Unknown, should have been
They did
Show
the
Yourself.
same thing with Encanto. They did the same thing with fucking Encanto.
Yeah. Well, but Bruno wasn't eligible, and for some reason, I still don't get it. But all the songs in Frozen, they were. So they just chose to go with a lesser song, unfortunately. This makes all the sense to me, again, because it's a huge hit, but the second one just surpassed the original in quality in every way. You have a rock ballad in the middle. You have a grand operatic number.
Song.
You have into Lost in the Woods. It's so good. It's such a good song. Yeah, it's great. And I'm sure one of them will have a kid. Well, Anna will have a kid. Elsa can't have a kid because, she doesn't play for that team. Let's just put it that way, because Disney doesn't like to put it more obviously. But yeah.
I want you to know, though, I remember a lot of people, because there was a lot of news articles going about what side's Elsa on. I remember
watch the movie. It's pretty fucking obvious.
Exactly. I had a debate. Someone's like, "Is Frozen 2 gonna show it?" I'm like, probably not. No, I bet money on that. They'll maybe hint to it. So I won $100 from that, because I knew Disney wouldn't do it. But I think definitely.
By the way, Eric Thorpe saying that the first Frozen had a really weak twist villain, and the second one had a great choice in the screenplay of not having a villain. The villain was the circumstance and the friction in the relationships, and that's what fed into the story. And that was a great decision.
Mm-hmm. So I like both of them equally. That's how I feel on both of them.
Okay.
I think one does better things than two, and I think two does better things than one. I'm excited for this. I'm not like super out of my mind excited. Did I need this? No. But it's the most no-brainer thing that Disney could have ever greenlit. In fact, I'll tell you right now, I will not be shocked if we get a live-action Frozen in about 10 years.
We already have a stage show.
Yeah, so in 10 years, we're going to get a live-action Frozen. But I dig this. This is smart. Again, these are announcements I think they should have made at D23, specifically because you didn't just greenlight them right now. You've known for a while that this was happening.
Well, that's because Bob Chapek was still around at D23. So
that's true.
But yeah, this is my second one. I would put Toy Story 3, Toy Story 5 at the bottom, Frozen 3 in second place, and Zootopia. Zootopia. Do
you think we'll find out more details about all these later this year at D23 again?
Do we have a D20? Wasn't it every 2 years?
Is it? I thought they switched it to every year now. Let me see.
I thought it was every 2 years.
Nope, there is one this year.
Oh, okay. Then I'm sure we will. September. I would even guess that Frozen 3 has a subtitle.
Oh, agree. Into the Unknown.
Can't pull that again. But yeah, they totally should have gone with Show Yourself. It's such a better song. It's the best song. Out of Into the Unknown,
I agree.
Let It Go, Show Yourself. Show Yourself is the best song.
But if we're doing all these sequels, I get we're doing the $1 billion ones first, but can we get a Big Hero 6? Can we get a
We should.
Moana
sequel.
Moana's getting a
Give
show,
us a Moana.
I
tweeted about it, and everyone was like, "Oh, we're getting a sequel TV show." Doesn't matter. Don't cheapen out. Give me a fucking movie on the big screen.
I will say
I don't
this,
want a TV series. because they
Disney
even
really
describe the
wanted
TV
to
series
play-
as a 20-minute like comedy. I don't want comedy. I want grand
No.
fucking adventure like in the original.
I agree. If Disney really wanted to play into nostalgia, what they should do is actually touch on old school sequels, like 2D, not live action, legit 2D animation. I'm telling you right now, I know Stitch wasn't a big mega blockbuster, but that film has such a cultural impact on those parks and everything.
But it had
specifically with
so
what they
many
do with those
sequels
characters.
already. That's the
It
only
did, but
thing
they're
I
all
see going against it.
direct to video. But like to see him come back, I don't know.
Wasn't
I mean,
the last one
timeline-
theatrical?
No, none of them were
No, okay,
theatrical.
okay.
They were all on television.
Okay.
So that's where I would like to see like something that they could do differently. Stitch is just an example, but there's so many IP that you could touch on that I think would like fucking do great. You just got to touch on, and I'd love to see them do 2D animation. That too. Again, we talked about it. Live action remakes should be those.
Do it.
So Atlantis.
Yeah,
another
that's the one I'd flip the fuck out for if they ever, which they won't. They never will.
Do a sequel,
but they should.
Or a live action.
Do a sequel.
They'll do a live action. They'll
do live action. They're waiting for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, not a sequel. I will bet money I do not have that that they will never do a sequel for that.
They announce it tomorrow.
Well, good thing the bet was never official. All right, everyone. So with that out of the way, that's our main topic. Let's go into your question. And again, there's 3 ways of leaving your question. Questions go through to the community post on the community tab on the channel. And then if you want to guarantee your question is answered, you can go to the tip link in the description or use the super chat feature. So with that out of the way, let's go to start with, and let me just hang on. This is not in
I
order.
have the first one. Are you ready? I have the first one.
Because I usually do them with newest first.
I do late, I do the last one first, or the first one that was
okay.
posted.
Is the first one from Geek saying it's not a question?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have it, but go ahead. You start us off.
G. Colby, this isn't a question, but I just want to shout out. Rest in peace, Burt Baccarat.
Yeah,
he's a singer, and I don't know if Zach is going to remember him, but he was in Austin Powers movie singing "What the World Needs Now" in the Spy Who Shagged Me, singing with Elvis Costello. I couldn't tell you.
I never heard of this man.
No,
I saw the first Austin Powers movie, but
I've seen them all. I don't remember. I remember the song, but I don't remember his face. So.
All right. GGOP also says, who's the best musician turned actor out of these artists? Janelle Monáe, Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake, Ice Cube, Will Smith, Mark Wahlberg, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem. Basically the good ones. Gotta go Will Smith.
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith is an Will Smith's won an Academy Award. Mark Wahlberg's been nominated. Lady Gaga's been nominated. Timberlake hasn't been nominated, right? Janelle Monáe is great. I don't think Timberlake's been nominated for acting.
No.
He's good though. He's good. I mean,
I like him as an actor.
They're all good. Besides,
I don't think
Ice
Snoop
are
Dogg
just fun.
I don't think Snoop Dogg is a good actor.
Yeah, but like Janelle, Lady,
thing.
Justin, Will Smith, and Mark are probably the best of this.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be Will Smith, Janelle Monáe, Mark Wahlberg. And yeah, those 3. So yeah. All right. GKOP. Since we didn't get an episode on this, thoughts on the new DC slate from James Gunn. So I will say what I tweeted out at the time. It looks like a great balance of, you need a Superman movie, Supergirl movie, Brave and the Bold makes sense. Even though it has the worst fucking Robin in it. I fucking hate Damien Chazelle. The Lantern Show.
Damien Chazelle? You hate Damien Chazelle? Oh my god.
No. Damian Wayne. Wayne.
I know. You said Chazelle,
Damian Wayne. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Fuck me. No, I love Damien Chazelle. Damian Wayne is a fucking bitch. I hate him. I hope he dies by the end of that movie. Or even halfway through the movie. Do me a favor. And then... And then you have also very James Gunny ideas with the Swamp Thing, the Authority, Creature Commandos, Booster Gold. But yeah, I like this slate. I'm very excited to see what they do with Superman Legacy. I'm very intrigued with Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow because it's such a recent run.
I just
Brave
read
and the
it.
Bold,
It's excellent.
Brave and the Brave and the Bold. The things that makes me excited is the fact that it establishes that the Bat family will exist, and I want to see a Nightwing. I want to see a
Nightwing and
Red
Red
Hood.
Hood.
My boys.
I wouldn't be
Then
surprised, and this is
yeah.
just my idea, and I haven't read the Grant Morrison stuff yet. Is Red Hood at all a villain in the Grant Morrison stuff?
He doesn't have that much of a presence, but he's all like apart from his first story, because you have Death in the Family leads to Under the Red Hood, which is when Jason Todd returns, and the whole story is about
Yeah,
who is the Red
and
Hood.
I've read
By the end,
those
you get the
two.
reveal. So after that, he's very much an anti-hero. He's very much a Punisher sort of guy.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm assuming this movie will very much deal with introducing the Bat family, bringing them in, and then of course giving us that introduction, between a father and a son, which is an interesting dynamic. I hope they do, because I don't really love Damian either, from what I've read in the past on him and seen of him. But I'm interested to see, James Gunn's take and whoever's directing it. And I will say this: if Ben Affleck honestly directs that film, I'm hyped. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's the one. So, but I'm with you. I actually really dig this slate. Creature Commandos, like one of my most anticipated things. I didn't even know about them until he announced it, and I'm like, yep, that sounds like something I want to watch. But I started reading about the Authority. I haven't read the comics, but I'm reading about them. They're fucking cool, actually. I didn't know how fucking cool they were. But everything he announced was cool. I'm more excited for the movies. I just want more announcements, and I imagine they're going to take this to Comic-Con, and that's where we're going to get. This is who's playing Superman. 100%. This is who's doing this, because they gotta. If this film's coming out in 2025, at the latest, they have to start filming early next year.
Yeah,
and that's at the latest. 100%. So, but knowing James Gunn, they'll probably start filming at the end of this year, and he'll be directing the film.
So in general, I like the slate. I don't love every single one of these projects, but even the ones I don't love, they're like, yeah, this is a thing James Gunn would do. Yeah, this
do you
is
like
a
that they're
thing that
connecting it so much? Like animation to video games to
movies.
Like
it. Yeah, I think that's how you should do it. By the sounds of it, it certainly looks like it's connecting more to animation than even Marvel is. So yeah. But then again, what if is inherently a kind of series that is detached because it's all about other versions of the characters. So GeekOP also asks, with Puss in Boots being a big hit, who are your favorite DreamWorks characters aside from the suave feline himself? Oh, too many. The entirety of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, the entirety of the Kung Fu Panda trilogy. He's awesome. The bad guys, they're fucking awesome.
Is Chicken Little or not Chicken Little? The chicken from Chicken Run. Is he DreamWorks?
Chicken Run. Because they're Aardman, but the DreamWorks distributed. I think so.
They're not doing the sequel, but I think they're doing the new one or the previous one. Because I would say that I really love that first movie.
Yeah, the new one is from Netflix. That I remember. But Prince of Egypt is awesome.
Yeah.
The main guys from Madagascar.
Dude, I love Monsters vs. Aliens. And
Monsters
Megamind's Megamind's underrated.
Megamind is awesome. We should get a sequel for that.
Donkey. I love Donkey.
The Croods.
The
Road to El Dorado. Yeah.
I love the Road to El Dorado.
Chicken Run is DreamWorks.
Okay.
Sinbad. Sinbad was underrated.
That was good.
What else?
Oh, Shark Tales. I love Shark Tales. Even though it's dumb.
I hate that movie so much. I hate that movie so much.
Fun fact, my sister
Rise of the Guardians. Talk about underrated movies that should get a sequel. Ooh, Rise of the Guardians.
I love Rise of the Guardians. That was
love that movie. Really good. Love that movie.
Yeah. That was really good. Oh, did they do Ice Age? No, that was the blue.
That was Blue Sky.
Acorn.
Blue Sky.
Yeah.
GeekOP, with these Disney announcements, I'm only really excited for Zootopia 2 and Toy Story 3 and 4. For Zootopia 2, as Toy Story 3 and 4 ends the story off in a satisfying note, not so much for 4. And Frozen 3, I'm not a Frozen guy. I really didn't like Frozen 2. Oh, wow. That's an unpopular opinion. A hot take right there. So it's basically an automatic, I don't care. But what Disney film you wouldn't getting a sequel to? You wouldn't mind getting a sequel to? Again, Moana 2. We talked a little bit about that. Moana 2, Treasure Planet 2, Big Hero 6 2. Again, yes, needing a TV series, but I don't care.
I'd like to see Wreck-It Ralph, but make it faster so it's not dated.
Yeah.
That whole space changes so much, so.
Yeah, 100%. Nathan Madigan, with the first 2 Ant-Man movies opening to $57 million in 2015 and $76 million in 2018, respectively, over under 60%. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania opens north of $120 million opening weekend. I'm going to go under. I think it has a good chance of going at the opening at 100 million or slightly above that, at 105, something like that. But I don't see it going 120. I can see it very much going to 100, though. I can see it cracking that 100. Zach?
If audiences love it, like Thursday night, everyone goes, man, this is awesome. You have to see it. Then I think
if the reviews on Tuesday are good.
Yeah. If it could, that means it could hit 120. I think 96 to 100 is the safe realm. I say that just because every Marvel film typically grows. Most of them at least hit 90 million. Maybe Ant-Man hits only 80. I mean, it's an Ant-Man film. Like, it is the biggest one, but general going audiences don't know who Kang is. Not everyone watched Loki. So no one, like, this is still unknown to a lot of people. And I think that's one thing to keep in mind. So, and I will say, I mean, I'm not going to I won't get into the reactions, but I just not really feeling the hype surrounding like the general going audience on this one. And I say that because I work in an environment filled with people who are the general going audience. They're like excited for it, but they forget it's even coming out next week, which is like insane to think. So maybe it's because we haven't had anything Marvel since She-Hulk. Maybe that's a big thing. But I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
All right. Tony Movie Chappie, thoughts on the situation with Sylvester Stallone and producer Irwin Winkler and the Creed 3 drama? Do you think Sylvester Stallone should own the rights to the Rocky franchise? So I never dove too much into the situation because honestly, hand to my heart, I do not give a shit. I'm not involved in the situation, so I really don't care. Should he own the Rocky franchise? No, he sold it. So by selling it, he shouldn't own it. He can try and buy it, but the producer, Winkler, he may not want to sell it. So Sylvester Stallone sold it. So he shouldn't own it. That's just my 2 cents. Zach?
I agree. I mean, maybe he should have negotiated better, or specifically when he did all those sequels, maybe negotiated, hey, I own a certain percentage of the franchise going forward. But I don't think he did. Again, I don't know all the details, but it's just drama to be drama at this point. Like Stallone, I think he's still a producer technically on Creed 3. You're probably getting some sort of money off Creed 3. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I don't know. It sucks. It definitely sucks. That's his baby, his everything. But he did sell it, and I think that's something that just happens to creatives, you know. But maybe one day the rights will revert back, like we've been seeing recently with like Friday the 13th and other sort of things. So, like Marvel, I think Marvel's kind of going through that right now behind the scenes. So,
all right, Eric Thorpe. So, how about these rumors that Christian Bale? No, they're fucking bullshit, brother. There's no validity to them. Maybe the DCU's Batman and the franchise may actually use the Dark Knight trilogy as a jumping off point of sorts. Consider Dark Knight Rises laid a lot of groundwork for Damian Wayne. No, it did not. And even arguably the Bat family of Joseph Gordon-Levitt potentially being an earlier Robin. It's not, dude. Okay. These rumors came from that woman that continues to spout out bullshit onto the internet, and I have no idea why anybody in 2023 still listens to her. It's not true, and I gotta tell you right now, if it was true, it would be fucking awful of a fit.
I agree.
Because the Dark Knight trilogy, the Nolan Batman verse, does not fit whatsoever in the same universe with a Superman, a Supergirl, a Swamp Thing, a Booster fucking Gold. It would be awful. And he's way too old to have an only 10-year-old son at this point. So yeah.
Okay. So I did ask around about this. Her I don't even want to say her name because I don't know how people watch her.
Disgrace.
I don't.
Disgrace.
Like, yeah. I've heard that it's partially true what she posted, but it's for the Flash ending, not the DC universe. Like, we're gonna see one of those Batman. More is like, the Flash can go anywhere in the world. This is where he's at. He's not in this universe anymore, type of thing. Like, that's the ending they're doing. Is like, he's in this Batman's world. That means he can go anywhere. Maybe he's lost and will never come out of it. And now the DCU's reset. Kind of that's I think the ending that I've kind of heard that they're trying to go for is that way they don't have to bring back Ezra Miller, which is a great thing for all of us.
His name.
Oh, sorry. But honestly, just throw him in the Clooney world. Just do Clooney. Oh. Have him run into
Clooney, but have Chris O'Donnell be the Batman because Clooney's dead in the universe.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. Terrible stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Christian Bale. I'd love to see him come back.
Oh, yeah. He's my favorite Batman.
But just do a new actor in the role.
Jake Gyllenhaal is your guy. Yeah. Gico EP, this would probably come up. Thoughts on the Fast X trailer and Vin Diesel's pitch of getting Robert Downey Jr. as an Elon Musk type villain for the next one. Also, by the end, are they introducing switching minds into this franchise? They're not. That was my first impression, but they're not. We'll get into that in a bit. Could it get any dumber? No, it should get dumber. It should outdo its dumbness. So let's just discuss.
Did you watch the trailer? I didn't see if you did.
For some reason, I did. Yeah.
I actually didn't mind it. I liked it.
Almost 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
I like this trailer. As someone who does not like Fast 9, what I'm about to say, take it in context. Take it in the context that we're talking about Fast and Furious. Okay, we're 10 movies in, 11 movies in, if you want to count Hobbs and Shaw, and I do count Hobbs and Shaw because it's one of the better ones. It looks scaled back from what we did in the last one.
Agree. And that's why I really dig it, because it reminds me of Fast 5 and Fast 6, which are my favorite ones. So that's why I'm like, and I love Fast 7. So it's like that little trilogy. It reminds me of those.
That's the peak of the franchise. That's 5, 6, 7.
So like, I actually love the scale back. We get some racing, and like I love the tie-ins to Fast 5.
Yeah,
I love the tie-ins to Fast 5 and how they're like everything surrounding this. I'm like, are they gonna win me back, or is the director issue the problem? Coming in,
because I will tell you that I like the trailer, but I don't see the director being a problem. But in a sense, I also look at the trailer and I'm like, this could have been directed by Justin Lin, and I wouldn't have known a thing if I wasn't like,
why? You can make a good trailer. I mean, you could make a good trailer.
They made a good trailer for F9. I enjoy the trailers for F9. Stupid, but I enjoy them. So it does feel at points like a greatest hits kind of thing when it comes to the Fast and Furious. Oh, this is the son of that person. We had that with Fast 6 and Fast 7. And Jason Momoa waited 12 years to get revenge for his
I'm kind of sad Luke Evans isn't back. I really love him.
I mean, Ellen Mirren is still there, man. Ellen Mirren is still there.
Jason
so
Statham.
If they run into trouble, she's like, hey, son, come here.
Because he showed up in 8, right? Like with Jason for like a split second.
Yes, because they were the two guys rescuing the baby.
So what's the off chance Jason Momoa is a hero at the end of this with the team to take down Cypher?
I don't think they're gonna do that with Jason Momoa because I think they're gonna do that with Alan Richson's character. Because now
Oh,
apparently
is he a
Mr.
villain?
Nobody is not. Because
Is
Mr.
it?
Nobody is not in this movie. So
No, he's not.
Tess, his daughter, she's going to be taking over that position, and then Alan Richson is like the new head of his division, of his
Department.
agency, whatever you want to call it. But he's not as infatuated with Dom and the family as much as Mr. Nobody was. So he's very much like, yeah, he knows there are worse people out there, but he still doesn't like them. And is not happy working with them. We don't see Daniela Melchior's character, and I see a ton of people online saying Daniela Melchior. It's Daniela Melchior, okay? It's not that fucking hard.
I know who she's playing, but I don't think
I know. You told me.
Say.
You told. I could say it, but I won't.
Is it public though?
You told me.
Yeah, no, I know, but I found out.
Oh, I haven't seen anything.
Oh, yeah, I found out from a leaker.
Yeah,
I found out from a leaker who she's playing. So.
Yeah, again, it continues to be one of those. Oh, when this person comes from here, but it's a greatest hit sort of thing. But I enjoyed it. I had fun with it.
I was surprised John Cena was in the trailer. I didn't even know he was in the movie.
Dude, there's such an awesome fucking moment with him where he throws the guy down and it crashes through floors. I'm like,
dude, I gotta say, man. And I
that is the Fast and Furious I fucking love.
Dude, I hate that I'm excited for this again. Because like I feel like it's the Transformers shit. Like I watch a Transformers movie, I feel disappointed. I see the trailer, I'm like, fuck, I'm back in. You know? And it's like, well, with Fast and Furious, I haven't been really excited for one since 7.
I just said who she's playing, JKOP. I bet money that she was going to play this, and she isn't. So I'm glad I never make my. Everyone thought that because it was, it's the MO of this franchise.
Yeah. So over or under,
I'll give them credit.
Is Paul Walker at all in this? Do they show him?
They'll reference him they'll show him. Here's the thing. I saw 3C's video, and he made a good point where since Dom's son is kidnapped, I guess like Brian runs away with his kids, so they don't get caught up either. So we just hear about it like, Brian is going away. I just let him know that to stay away and stay safe, blah blah. I don't think that we see him. Do I think it's impossible? No. Bless you. Twice.
Thank you.
But right now, I'd give it like a 10%. 10%.
What about the last one, number 11?
Depending on what happens in this film, and if it is the real last one, I'm comfortable going to a 50%.
Mm-hmm. At least in the very last scene.
As of right now, yeah. So she's not playing Charlize Theron's sister. Let's talk about the last part, because at first when it opened and we see that wide shot, I'm like, what are they switching? And they're not. It actually feeds into the whole tech guy, Elon Musk sort of villain who wants to create driverless cars. I think what he wants is to implement the family's mind into cars, so the cars drive themselves.
That is the dumbest
it's still stupid. I'm not saying that makes sense.
If that's true, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's like, is this like Lightning McQueen's origin story?
And I love it. Yeah, it's how the cars world begins to exist.
I hate that so much. I think it's fun. I hope to God Robert Downey Jr. doesn't do this.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I don't think so either.
Is this how they tie in Hobbs and Shaw?
To Hobbs and Shaw, yes. Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. Because if they're not doing another Hobbs and Shaw, because the Hobbs and Shaw, we had an interview like this week or this past week, and I think the PR, the producer, like she swam around it very much because it was successful. It got good reviews. Jason Statham and The Rock love working with each other.
Vanessa Kirby
she said, awesome. Idris Elba was fucking awesome. That mysterious voice, Keanu Reeves, was awesome.
That's what I was gonna say.
Can you imagine like his presentation, like when he said, "You're breathtaking"? Like that is the guy who's doing the driverless cars.
Why are you saying Downey? I think if they're gonna get, it's gonna be Keanu. Like if it's gonna be Keanu.
But you gotta negotiate with Keanu that he gets some action scenes in it too, because he can't just be the guy behind the desk. But yeah, I thought the thing was fun, and I'm ready to be won over. The whole thing with the choppers grabbing the car, and the car starts to go up, but then it goes down the slope into another street, into another highway, and it sends the helicopters crashing down. That I know what you did in Fast 9, but I still gotta say that is not how physics work. But it was an awesome
more
thing to get on camera. But it's more believable than a fucking Fiero in space. I'll say that much.
Anything is.
Anything is. Tyler Van, hey guys, favorite M. Night cameo?
Knock at the Cabin's a pretty high one.
Really? Okay, the
I
fried
loved
chicken
it. It was so
cool.
stupid. But I did love.
I gotta go with the. I gotta go with the Unbreakable Split last one, because it's always the same character, and it's good to see that guy doing well in life. It's good to see that guy continuously getting work. So yeah, I'm happy for whatever his name is. Tobes, Ren Zach, what are some of your favorite sitcoms? Disney and Nickelodeon type shows. Okay, so not sitcoms like How I Met Your Mother and The Office and Seinfeld.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. That's So Raven. Phil Future. That one was I never watched it.
Carly.
Never watched it. Disney Channel sitcoms. Liv and Maddie was all right. Boy Meets World. Girl Meets World. Anyone watch Shake It Up with Zendaya?
The musical, the series is actually pretty good. Oh, I watched Shake It Up. That was like the last one I watched.
What was the last one I watched? Because I remember I just missed Hannah Montana was immediately after my time.
Hannah was my time.
And then Wizards of Waverly Place came after that, so that was not my thing either. Disney Channel of originals. I'm just looking for fucking live action. Just give me fucking live action, please. Phil of the Future, so 2004. That's so Lizzie McGuire. How could I forget that? And yeah, that's it. Good Luck Charlie is good. I like Good Luck Charlie. So yeah. All right. Let me get the next question. Oh,
I have the next one. I have
there we go. Too. Gigo EP, after Knock at the Cabin, can we finally say Bautista is the best wrestler turned actor? Even when he goes into awkward Shyamalan-ism, he still does a great job. I didn't find him to go into any awkward Shyamalan-ism in this one. I thought he was really, really, really good. I still don't think he has given as good a performance as Dwayne Johnson in Snitch or Dwayne Johnson in Pain and Gain, but he's in that territory. He's like level-headed with him, so he's well on his way. This is a great performance. It's his best performance easily so far. So yeah, Zach, what do you think?
I agree.
Okay,
I would easily. Dave Bautista's proven himself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Lady Aaron, what are your thoughts on La La Land Broadway musical being in the works? Do you hope we'll get some new songs? I don't hope. I know. Well, 100% we are getting new songs. I like it. I'm excited for it. Gonna be a while until it gets to the West End here in London. But yeah, I like it. One of the greatest movies ever made, now being a stage play. And if you only knew what other stage plays are in the works. But I will shut up after that. Zach?
I don't care, if that makes sense. And I say that because I'm not huge on Broadway. I've never really gone to any plays. I want to be invested in it, but I live in Arizona. So, they don't really bring like a lot of Broadway stuff here. There's plays out here and stuff that I've gone and seen, but La La Land's a movie. I don't know. Unless they cast you. If they don't cast you, I don't care to see it.
All right. Lady Aaron, what are your thoughts about some people getting to play Hogwarts Legacy 72 hours before its actual release worldwide? and of the disgrace of some people live streaming the game while people are saying spoilers in the live chat. That I have no idea. I thought the
I'll
game.
take this. I'll take this.
Yeah,
I played it.
let me just say I thought the game was just out. I don't have the game, and I'm interested in buying the game, so I have nothing to say on this. Go ahead.
I feel insane saying how many hours I've played already, so I'm not going to say it. But I've played a lot.
72.
No, that's too much. But I got it 72 hours beforehand because I paid extra. I paid $10 extra to play 3 days early. So, like, I don't think there's an issue with that. If you want to play it early, you paid to play it early. As for the spoiler part, honestly, there's not really much spoilers. Like, I'm at least like 6 hours into the story, and I haven't encountered something that like is really a spoiler. Like, honestly, the fun part of the game is exploring and seeing the one-for-one recreation of Hogwarts, going to locations and being like, oh, I know where this was in the movie and stuff like that. It sucks people do that, but I don't really think that's a big thing. It's not that big of a deal. It'd be different if it was The Last of Us. It would be different if it was like The Last of Us or God of War or something like that. Like the spoiler you got for God of War. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah, that's a bitch. Lady Aaron, if you only had to pick 5 musical movies to watch for the rest of your life, what would they be and why for each one? We're not going into why for each one, obviously. La La Land, The Greatest Showman, The Lion King. Tarzan is not a musical, technically.
I wanna know. Can you show
Great songs, but the characters aren't actually singing it, apart from one. So it's not, I don't consider it a musical. I'm stumped. Zach, so definitely counts. So Sing Street, Moulin Rouge would probably be up there. Singing in the Rain, you gotta go Singing in the Rain. Yeah. So those are my 5. All right. Lady Aaron, if you only had to pick 5 movie scores to listen, which ones would you choose and why? Again, not going to why for each one. Let's do The Lion King, Man of Steel, Star Wars, La La Land. I can only pick one more. Only one more. Which one do
I got
pick?
mine. If you want to decide.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm surprised he didn't do Endgame. John Williams, Indiana Jones. He did Indy, right? I'm not being crazy. Yep. It was him. Okay.
Nope.
Babylon is already top 5. Pirates of the Caribbean, Toy Story, and then it's tough. Either Star Wars and New Empire Strikes Back. No, I think I'm gonna do Revenge of the Sith. I'll do Revenge of the Sith. I think that's my favorite.
Nice. What are some movies that you think were underappreciated at the Oscar nominations, should have gotten more nominations than what they got this year? I think we talked about this. The Batman, The Menu, and The Northman. Those are like the 3 big ones. And Babylon, obviously.
Agree with all of those. Lightyear for animated.
Oh yeah, good shout. Dragon Ball Superhero for animated.
Yeah, that I would have nominated that one too. I'm trying to think of anything else. You kind of said them all. Babylon for sure needed to be in there more. Same with the Batman. All right. Yeah, I don't have any others.
Lady Aaron, of the episodes from The Last of Us that have aired, how would you rank each episode so far from worst to best?
I'm not doing this one. I'm doing a video of this later.
Because you are doing a video. I don't rank them just because to me there's no worst episode. They're all equally brilliant. Like, I don't think there's a weak spot in this entire show. And by consequence, there's also not one that stands out like above the others. They're all up here. They're all high echelon television. So yeah. Lady Aaron, is anyone going to watch the Super Bowl on Sunday besides me? What team are you cheering for? And since we have Super Bowl commercials, what kind of movie trailers could we possibly get on the Super Bowl? Zach, I don't. I'm not watching because I wouldn't even know where to start.
You know what I do?
What do you do?
I'm going to sit in my room. I'm going to wait till a trailer drops, and then I'm going to record a reaction. Then I'm going to go back. sit in my room,
play
wait for
Hogwarts
a movie
Legacy.
trailer. Yep, and then do a movie reaction.
All right. With Tuesday being Valentine's Day, what is the most romantic movie you have ever watched? What's a romance movie you always have on your list for every year on Valentine's Day? And do you have any plans for Valentine's Day this year? Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Those are my plans. Most romantic movie, gotta be La La Land up there. About Time is wonderful. When Harry Met Sally. I don't have a tradition to watch anything on Valentine's Day.
I love
Big Sick is a good shot. Yeah, that's a good one. GWP, who's an actor?
Is a love story.
It is. GWP, who's an actor in the MCU that you could actually see as another Marvel hero who hasn't been introduced yet? Good question. An actor already in the MCU. I don't know.
Miley Cyrus is Dazzler.
You know what? She'd fit in that role very much. Yeah. I like that.
Can we give Michelle Yeoh something else to do? It feels like they just keep giving her these side roles.
They cast her twice. Yeah. What else do you want?
I want a third one, man. I want her to be, I don't know.
Oh, I have one actually. Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. That would have been a great casting. That would have been great casting. Can you imagine?
You know Ben Kingsley also would have been good as if they went a different route with this, because obviously we know we're getting this character now in Ant-Man. I would have loved to see him as a MODOK, like an actual version of MODOK, not a Darren Cross version.
Sam Rockwell, Justin Timberlake as Justin Hammer as
Dude, that would have been
MODOK.
perfect. That would have been perfect.
I just have the best ideas, right? I'm kidding. Lady Aaron, Ren Zach, if you ever wanted to present an award at the Oscars, which award would you want to present and why? Best Picture. Because it's the best picture. Yeah, it's the big one. That's the one everyone really cares about. You should care about everything.
Not a single one.
No.
Not a single
you don't
one.
want to present.
Why? Because I can't say any names right.
I mean, you can say movie titles, right?
Nah, barely. I'd pull a John Travolta when he said whatever. How did he say her name? Yeah. Was that at the Oscars?
It's not even close, my guy. It's not even close.
Was that at the Oscars? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was. I probably believe that you guys didn't watch the Grammys last weekend. I did not.
Don't care to.
What are your thoughts on those winners? I don't know. Gun to my head, I don't know. I mean, I know Viola Davis won, but only because she won the EGOT with that win. But I have no idea what she won for.
That's it.
Congrats to him. Oh, that's right. He said something stupid. Yeah. But I don't care. Nathan Madigan, have you seen the trailer for Paint starring Owen Wilson? I did not know a trailer was out. So I guess that answers that question. Playing a fictional painter similar in appearance cadence to Bob Ross. Oh, okay. I
think it showed a little too much for an indie film.
I had no idea the trailer was out. I heard nothing about it. Nathan, excuse me. Nathan Madigan, with the release of Magic Mike's Last Dance this week, have you seen Channing Tatum's previous collaborations with Steven Soderbergh? Haywire, never seen it. Side Effects, I've seen it. And Logan Lucky is fucking awesome. I was already reviewing movies back then. I have a review for Logan Lucky on my channel.
I have one too. It's one of my earlier reviews for Logan Lucky. Haywire is fucking weird because that's the Gina Carano movie.
Yeah, they
dubbed her. And the first time I watched it, I didn't know they dubbed her. And this was like 2 years ago. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this doesn't sound like her.
But it has an insane cast. Like
it's
Ewan McGregor, Michael Fassbender,
yeah. It's not that bad. I liked it. I actually really like it.
All right.
But
Eric
the voice
Thor
is very bad. It's not.
So,
good.
Are you guys still not excited for The Flash, even with James Gunn saying it's one of the best comic books ever? Sorry, but I'm really darn hyped for it. No, because what's he gonna say? It's one of the worst. Like he has to promote that movie. So yeah, no, I'm not excited. I'm just very indifferent. I'm more excited to get past that movie than to watch the movie itself. Zach?
Me and Ren aren't that excited for it because we know more things about it.
Yeah.
But again, we just know, we don't know context. We only know blurbs of it.
Yeah.
So
we know
here's my
pieces,
thing.
but we haven't seen the puzzle, if that makes
I've
sense.
talked to one person who's seen the movie, and he said ravingly, and he's seen everything else already coming out this year for DC, including Aquaman.
All right.
He said The Flash is incredible. He said the audience.
What did he say about Aquaman?
For as much as you can say without having finished CGI, it's really good. It's better than the first one.
Ooh, okay, excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, and pretty much every sequel, like Shazam, Aquaman, The Flash. Well, Flash isn't a sequel, but like Shazam, he said was better than the first one. Blue Beetle.
It's a sequel to Batman '89.
Yeah, technically. But he was like, The Flash is really special. He goes,
all right.
It sucks that Ezra Miller is the star because they really fucked that movie. They really fucked that movie.
Nathan Holton,
Hopefully
thoughts on great reactions to Creed 3? I don't know of any great reactions. I haven't seen the movie myself, so I don't see reactions. Yeah, no.
I saw the reactions,
so I don't care. I don't care to see reactions.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been very excited for Creed 3. I'm doing my Rocky marathon. I have the Creed films left to do. Creed's my favorite Rocky film. The first one is. I was completely and utterly, I was completely and utterly taken back. Now again, that might change because I finally just did a rewatch, so maybe that'll finally change once I rewatch Creed. But I love that first Creed, and I really love 2. I love a lot of Rocky films. Like, I was actually surprised how much a lot of them actually hold up for different things. So Creed 3 though, count me in.
All right. Nathan Holden also asked, what full-length trailers do you believe we'll get Sunday? I have no idea because everything is coming out already. I will say this. You're not getting any full-length trailers on the actual Super Bowl. You get a 30-second spot, and at the end, they'll all say full trailer online now.
Yeah.
And then they'll be online. But I don't know what to expect.
Little Mermaid, Guardians, Transformers.
You think already another full trailer for Guardians? Or just a 30-second spot?
I'm saying exactly what I heard.
Okay.
So this is what I've heard, is that they're going with that. I've also heard that it's not. I heard it could be a full-length trailer, or it could be, here's what's coming to Marvel this year, like they did one year.
I like that
for the movies. So we get Ant-Man's.
Give us Marvels.
I have heard the Marvels is coming there. Like, we will have something from the Marvels. A lot of people keep saying that we will. So I'm excited to see that. But I think it's going to be like a 30-second blurb. But Little Mermaid is full definitive.
Trailer online. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Little Mermaid's for sure. I'm trying to... The Flash, we know we're getting. That's definitive. I have the whole list. I'm trying to... Let me see if I can find it. If you want to go to the next question, I have the whole list.
Yeah,
let me see if I can find it.
Thoughts on Patrick Stewart in Deadpool 3? They're rumors. There's not much validity to them. He's been told to stand by. That can mean we want to use him, but does that mean they'll find a way to use him? Does that mean they will use him? No, not necessarily, but I wouldn't count him out. I think it makes sense.
Are you ready? I have the full trailer list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Fast X, we already got. The Flash, Guardians, The Little Mermaid. Here are other ones that we will see. Ant-Man has a commercial, but it's not a full trailer.
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons spot, Scream spot.
That already came out. The
Cocaine Bear gets a spot. 65 gets a spot.
Ooh, these are the ones that already came out too.
Yeah, these ones are ones that are not confirmed, but most likely. Okay. New Super Mario's, Transformers, Elemental, in Indiana Jones. And then the only other one that is heavily rumored is John Wick 4.
Okay.
But no one can confirm if Lionsgate bought a thing or not.
All right. Nathan Holton, do you think we'll return for Toy Story 5? We talked about this on the main topic. Dominican Scott, which one of the Disney projects are you most excited for? Talked about it on the main topic. With the release of Fast X trailer, what are you expecting? Insanity.
Talked about it.
Yeah, and I'm expecting to have seen the entire trailer on the entire movie on the trailer. Dominican Scott, with James Gunn tweeting about the new hashtag Sell the Snyderverse. Oh, here we go again. To Netflix, is he afraid if this? Is he afraid?
I'm not talking
If the
about
Snyderverse is
No,
Snyderverse is
no,
restored in
no,
any way, will
no,
outshine what he
no,
wants to do. No,
no,
because it's
no,
dead. It doesn't
no,
return, brother. It's
no.
dead, and it
It's
will not
dead.
outshine anything. It's dead and buried. Zack Snyder has moved past it. It's time for these fucking losers on Twitter to also do it.
And I'm a massive Zack Snyder fan. I fucking love what he did.
Me too.
I don't want
Me
any
too.
more. I don't want any more. I'm
Even
done.
in retrospect,
Like,
I'm more excited and love more of what he did than I am looking forward to anything that
I'm
James
more
Gunn
excited for
announced,
Rebel
but
Moon.
it's dead.
I'm more excited for Rebel Moon than I am for what like Superman Legacy, if I'm being honest, just because I don't know anything about Legacy.
I mean,
I've seen a
at
little
this
bit of Rebel
point,
Moon.
yes, but it really depends. Like, if we had the same amount of information, would we be more excited for Rebel Moon? My guess is no, but at this point, I agree. Because we've seen more of it. We know more about it. Diminishing Scott. This Tuesday is Valentine's Day, but also the big trending... Oh, no. Trending event means fans are going to make noise. Hashtag.
I'm done.
What's going to happen?
About
Nothing. They're going to waste their fucking time as they do every single day. It's dead.
Dude,
it's dead.
I gotta
even
ask
compare it to the Snyder cut. Let me
know
just
how they
finish.
raise money?
You got to compare it to the Snyder cut. They said it was never going to happen. It was filmed. You just had to finish it, and they chose to finish it, but it was filmed. They had the footage, brother. It's not comparable. So yeah.
I would laugh so hard if they got a trailer at the Super Bowl, like they raised money, like they did for the billboards.
There's not enough money. I'm currently doing a marathon. I'm currently doing a marathon for all X-Men movies with Deadpool 3 in the works. Could this mean we get closure for X-Men movies produced by 20th Century Fox? They got their closure. It's called Dark Phoenix. It is a satisfying closure, debatable, but they got their closure. This is for Deadpool. It's not for the entire franchise of the X-Men.
It's to get Deadpool into the MCU. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. I watched last year for the first time. I brought it on Blu-ray. It's okay, but Tim Allen's my favorite Buzz. How do you feel? It's a different Buzz. This is not the toy Buzz. I love Lightyear.
Just like Patrick Warburton is a different version of Buzz too.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. Diminishing Scott, how would you describe Valentine's Day? Tuesday. That's how I would describe it. In my opinion, I don't believe it's just a day to... Yeah, how?
It's a holiday created to spend money.
Yeah, just like any holiday. I don't believe it's just a day to have someone. Valentine's Day should be caring about who you are. Would you agree? I don't believe it's just a day to have someone. Valentine's Day should be caring about who you are. I don't agree or disagree. To me, it's another day. It's Tuesday. Because I have no reason to think of it any other way. Last question. Any physical media pickups? Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the Steelbook just came in, the Talocan version. But other than that, nothing recently. So, yeah.
My Talocan. And then my fiance gave me Okja Criterion Collection yesterday. Nice. And this Mickey's 100th thing.
That's cute.
Came with
that's really cute.
Little pin. So.
Oh, nice.
But yeah.
All right.
We did Valentine's Day yesterday, so.
Underrated and overrated Pixar movie. Underrated, Onward. Overrated, probably Finding Dory, maybe A Bug's Life. I don't know if we can. I don't love Bug's Life, but I don't know if we can consider it overrated because everyone says it's underrated. So, underrated, Lightyear, probably at this point.
Yeah, Turning Red. Oh, I would also say Luca.
Luca's underrated. I agree with that. Overrated. Toy Story 4. The most overrated, and it's overrated only because I see it as some people's number one, and I don't think it's quite number one. I will say Finding Nemo because it's one of their better movies, but it's not their best movie. So I have to call that one overrated.
I'd like to stab you, but I can't.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
I have one. Up.
Yeah,
I think Up's overrated. It's it's like middle.
I love
the
you
beginning
in the eyes.
I love the.
I want to stab you in the heart because you clearly have none.
I love the first 2 acts. I don't love the third act, but it's good. I really like the movie. But if you're asking me,
How
it's not in my top 10.
How dare you? Eric Thorpe reviews. Do you think with Viola Davis coming back as Amanda Waller in the DCU, that will probably get the other Suicide Squad actors back, like Margot Robbie as Harley? Am I counting on it? No. Do I hope they come back? At least Margot Robbie as Harley, 100%. You don't throw away perfect casting.
Yeah, I think that's the point. I think she will, but
okay.
Yeah, I still think it's dumb. They should just recast it, everyone. That's my opinion. Like, if you're not going to bring back Henry, then just recast everyone.
Did you see the trailer for Ben Affleck's new movie Air with him and Matt Damon? He's back in the director's chair. I still haven't seen the trailer. I really want to. I love everything that I've seen or heard about it, but I've not seen it.
They also wrote the script. This is their first, and it's their first film from their production company. So,
yeah, true. Lady Aaron, what are your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct that we got a few days ago? If you saw it, didn't even hear about it. I watched it. So,
they showed more gameplay for Legend of Zelda. Looks cool. They announced a Metroid Prime remaster. That's cool. I didn't care about the rest.
Okay, so nothing I would care about. So I'm glad I didn't waste my time.
Nothing Pokemon.
Nothing Pokemon, exactly. Nathan Madigan, is there a Disney animated movie you watched for the first time as an adult that you wish you had seen as a kid? There isn't one that I could have watched as a kid. And I say that in the sense that I would have loved to have seen Moana as a kid, Zootopia as a kid, Wreck-It Ralph as a kid, Tangled as a kid. Tangled should get a sequel too,
for me as a kid.
But they didn't exist when I was a kid. So I would have been, I would need to have been born a lot of years later to have witnessed those as a kid. But I would have loved if they were around when I was a kid. If there was a chance for it, but there just wasn't. Did I miss anything? I did not miss anything. Okay. So last question from Nathan Madigan. How would you rank the Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg based on real event movies? Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, and Patriots Day. Patriots Day is number 1, Deepwater Horizon number 2, and Lone Survivor in third place. I like them all. I really like them all, but Lone Survivor, the title itself is kind of a spoiler. So there's quite a bit of the movie where I'm like, I know exactly where this is going, but he still manages to make a really good movie. Deepwater Horizon is riveting.
Why aren't we talking about Mile 22?
Because thankfully it's not based on real events, and it's also a shit movie.
It is. It's terrible.
It is. It's really bad. But yeah, all these 3 really good movies. If you haven't seen any of them, go watch them. But Patriots Day, it's a harrowing experience. Really love that movie. How would you rank them?
Same as you. Patriots Day was my favorite, though, like by far. Yeah. I love that film. Deepwater Horizon is really good, and then Lone Survivor is great. Those would probably be tied, but Patriots Day is like. It made my friend who like does not cry in anything like bawl his eyes out. Like he,
right.
Like that scene between when Mark Wahlberg's on the couch. That's like one of his best scenes ever. So
such a good movie. I need to rewatch it. It's been a while. All right, everyone. That's going to do it for this week in Geek episode 42. Again, next week there isn't a show on Saturday. Maybe we can work a way around making a show on Sunday, but just don't make it a sure thing. Just be on the lookout for community posts. This week, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania comes out. I'll also have my review of Missing finally coming out. Thank you so much for watching once again. Come back for all those videos, all those reviews, and until the next one, love each other and love the movies.